As a kid, I hit puberty 5 years late because I was so fat. I was obese. My mum took me to the doctor, and the doctor basically said, "You got to lose some weight." By the way, I run ultra marathons. I did Everest, the height of Everest in a day, 16 hours. I ran 103 kilometers, 5,000 meters of elevation gain. Took me 22 and a half hours. Half marathons every day, Ironmans, all of it, all for charity, right? Mainly for men's mental health, and this is like my North Star. I want to stop men from killing themselves. That's my North Star. The biggest thing that you gave me was unknown unknowns. That I think is the only thing that matters nowadays. Yeah. It's the unknown. It's the ignorance. It's not knowing that you can do this. Because if someone actually knew they could do this, I think ignorance is actually the root of all evil.
Less than 1% have a pro account, and then less than even one of that are using Claude, have ever heard of Claude skills, code. This is a very, very small percentage of business owners who know this.
And we have to be fair. We've literally just arrived in Alaska. We're sitting on gold. We've got to fucking start mining. We're realizing that things will change. Things are changing. By the way, they've already changed. The ship has left the port.
It's not a ship, it's a rocket.
Yeah, it's left.
You need to hold on for dear life.
What are you going to do? You either get replaced in 5 years, probably a lot sooner, or you confront this now. Choose. That's okay. It'll just get harder and harder every single day. So I think, again, it's like every day it gets harder. Every day it gets harder to start. And I think the best time to start is now. And again, it's a journey of 1,000 miles. Starts with a single step. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now.
We're here with Alex Hormozi, the British Alex Hormozi.
Dude.
So, how's it all been, Ollie?
You set the bar high, man. Can we restart? No, I'm joking. At least you got to add on Goggins to that as well.
Oh, the British Alex Hormozi, David Goggins, all of them into one. Actually, my business partner after the event last week said, "Oh, I love Ollie. He's a sick guy. He reminds me a lot of Alex Hormozi." I was like, wonder why. The flannel, the shirt underneath.
I mean, if it works for someone, it's like you may as well just copy it, right?
That's gyms, the events.
Well, true. No, I guess.
It really is. And then also Ross Edgley in there.
Oh, dude, I love Ross. Those are my three heroes. I think I'm literally just like standing on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
And just like, I think it's the humility I love looking into, again, this is also Hormozi, looking into definitions of words, and like humility comes from the earth, like humus, and it's like grounding. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think it's like, okay, it's worked for them. He's clearly 10 times more, 1,000 times more successful than I am. And he has what I want. And he's also come from a similar background. Goggins and Hormozi, I relate to so much. So I'm literally like replicate then iterate. I'll just replicate what they do, test it myself, run the algorithm, and then eventually I iterate on that and I make it my own. So maybe like I'll wear flip-flops instead of what's he wearing now? He's going through like 20 different variations.
Yeah, but actually recently he started wearing jeans.
Oh no! Oh my, yeah. When he went to Tony Robbins, he was in jeans, and that's when you know it's like it's serious.
Yeah, 100%. And then also like, he's got the hat. He's got the acquisition.com.
Yeah.
You need to get your own Cali.
You need to get some
Cali
nose
Unity
strips.
hat. But you know a guy, right?
Yeah, I'm partnered with a guy called Namuri, really, really good. But yeah, I mean,
yeah,
100%.
Cool.
And also Goggins as well. Goggins changed my life. I think this is really top of mind for me at the minute. I think what we need is, especially men nowadays, is not the Goggins and it's not Hormozi. They're amazing, right? Mm-hmm. They're so ahead of us that sometimes it's hard to relate. And I think the reason why Goggins and Hormozi I relate to more than Ross Edgley is the fact that they've shared more of their story, and therefore I can see myself in them and I can go, oh, it's just the hero's journey. I can go through that and I can relate to that. So other people online, I think it's just they're so far ahead. Like Daniel Priestley, he's absolutely incredible. I'm like, what's his story? I don't actually have the context. And with these guys, I saw myself in them. But what we need nowadays, especially as men, is I think men need role models. Mm-hmm. I think men need other men who are at their level a bit further ahead, who basically say, yeah, this is what I did. This is how I got through that stage. This is how we got through it. Because again, it's like life is just like loads of different bosses in front of you. And once you beat that first boss, you can always go back and beat it. Like that's easy. Mm-hmm. Like once you're doing 100-mile weeks of running, it will take you 2 or 3 weeks to get back to that volume. But starting out on your first 5K, that sucks, right? So yeah, I think those guys, I attribute everything to them. I attribute everything to also, I'm not necessarily religious, but I was saying this at the event, it's like I see myself as a rusty pipe and just God flows through me, mm-hmm. right? And like I'm flawed, I'm arrogant at times. I have all my natural desires and human things, but I think the good that comes through me, I just try and let it channel through me, and also have the humility to kind of say, well, you know what, like, and actually say it like this. It wasn't me. Like, it actually wasn't me, because I'm not smart enough to figure that out. Like, genuinely, you think I actually thought about that? No, it's like so many things. I think genuinely. Okay, we're getting into spiritual stuff already. That's later, but like, yeah, I think things happen for you, and you go through it like that. But yeah,
Perfect. And that's a perfect segue to see what's happened for you. What is your background? What are you doing at the moment?
Amazing.
What have you been doing?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go. I'll speed run the story. As a kid, I hit puberty 5 years late because I was so fat. I was obese. My mum took me to the doctor, and the doctor basically said, you got to lose some weight. Like, you're obese. You have so much fat on your body that you literally can't go into puberty. Like, you have too much estrogen being produced and not enough testosterone. I got bullied all through school. I went to a good school. You know it. We were literally from the same area, which is called Civical in London. One of the best schools in the country. And I generally got bullied, and I was always the last person at cross country. I used to fake illness for skipping all this stuff. I used to have literal panic attacks before rugby training, and I was never known as the gym guy, the fitness guy, anything. And I still can't pinpoint the exact moment when it changed, but I think it actually came from, I was always good at school. I could always learn stuff. I always understood things. And there was this one moment in the changing rooms where this guy, who I related to a lot, he was also a gamer. So I spent about a year and a half playtime on League of Legends when I was like 16. So not just a year, I mean, like, literally about a 13th of my life was spent on one game, let alone CSGO, Battlefield, all the other things, right? I was just throwing my life away. Like, I was going nowhere. And this guy, he was also a gamer, and I saw him in the changing rooms, and I was like, oh, he's changed. And he saw me looking at him, and he was like, you know, you can turn those moves into pecs, because I was a big guy. And that evening at rugby training, we went to the gym instead of rugby practice, and he showed me the lat pull down. He showed me all these different things, and also I didn't touch on this. When I was a kid, I generally addictive personality, right? I do everything in extremes. Right, which we'll get to later. But it's very much, I was in addiction, so sugar, pornography, internet, everything, gaming, but also, again, it's studying, or it was work, or it was all these different things. And I think the symptom, it's not necessarily that I had addictive personality, I was just running away from stuff. I don't really know exactly what it was at the time, but I had this thing that I was hiding. And this guy, he gave me proof. He had proof. He'd done the thing. And I was like, okay, here you go. This guy does something that works, right? I'm just going to copy that. So I literally just copied him, right? He took me to the gym. We worked out together. Eventually, I was helping him, because what did I do all day? I went on YouTube. I read all the books. I obsessed. I started helping him. Then I started training with the rugby coaches. Then I started helping the rugby coaches. Then when I went to university, I went on the powerlifting team. I learned from them. Then I started coaching them. Then I was doing engineering at Bath University, and I generally hated my degree. I didn't really enjoy it. I eventually, after first year, I just said, I'm not going to go to any of my lectures. I'm just going to go all in. And in second year of uni, I went to my parents. They are they're first generation. I was first generation uni. So they were like, you have to go to uni. It's like, it's our way out as a family, and like, come on, you have to do this. And I said, all right, I'll make you a bet. If I'm not making triple what an engineer makes 2 years out of uni, I'll go back to engineering. So I was on a 5-year degree, master's and placement. I basically pushed it down to a 3-year degree. And then from there, went into personal training. Lockdown hit, everything went away. And in lockdown, I realized that the number one thing in my life is being useful. Do epic shit with epic people and be useful. Because when my mindset shifted from me, selfish, I want to be a personal trainer, I want to make money, to in lockdown, it was, how can I help people through this? How can I be useful? I got back from lockdown. I was doing 40 hours a week of personal training. I grew that into a small group facility that I had in my garage. Got kicked out of that garage because my landlord thought I was growing weed because I had an ice bath and a sauna in it. Then that transitioned into a woodworking facility that we sold parallettes all over the world. We started up this brand called Cali Unity, which is my gym, which then led to us opening our first arch gym. I'm speedrunning this. Like, I got a whole book on this, so it's speedrunning all of it. But eventually opened our first arch gym that got fully booked. We realized because we had so much context, so much data, so much training on what people wanted, that we realized that in the UK, 82% of people pay for their gym membership, but they never show up. Most people don't want to be CrossFitters. They don't want to be bodybuilders. They don't want to run ultras, which is fine. And also, but the thing is they don't need the help. The people that need the help are the ones that are the people that don't like gyms. They're the ones that are the 40s, 50s working professionals, right? They have the money. So basically, there's a nice blue ocean over here, and there's a red ocean that everyone's fighting. So because I was doing, I think I did about 1,000 in-person sales consults by this point. No, that's a lie. In the whole time of doing it, it's maybe over 3 to 5 years. But by this point, I had so much data because I was talking to so many people. I pivoted the whole gym into that. We then opened another facility. The landlord of the facility let us into this new gym. It was a warehouse. He was like, don't go over there because you're going to fall through the first floor. There was a tree coming in through the roof. Long story short, we spent $500,000 doing it up with him, doing everything up. We're built into an incredible facility in Bath. And then we actually transitioned in a second gym where me and Kira got off the gym floor as fast as possible. We can talk about that another time, why that is. But the whole gym was running itself. It was completely self-sufficient. Kira and I were traveling the world. We lived in Vancouver, went to Hawaii, went to Australia. We traveled the whole world. We cut deep because we realized that me and Kira running the whole thing ourselves wasn't a brand. It was just two people running it. Now it's a brand. It has an identity, it has a voice. But we then realized we actually turned the whole gym into a CIC not-for-profit, so a community interest company, not-for-profit. All of the profits from the gym go back into the community. We have a free calisthenics park next to our gym. We have free teens classes that we do in all the local schools. We're starting up a community run club. We go into the local care homes. We do women's events. We do 7 days raising money for 7 different charities. So a lot of those things are dedicated towards that. And now, yeah, I mean, there's so many ways that we can go from here. I was going to raise $250,000 to launch an app, but I built it in the last 2 weeks, and we can go through what that is. I just actually spoke to all the people that were going to put in the money, and they were like, oh, okay, that's really good. Like, amazing. Now we can spend our money on making more money rather than giving you money just to make a nice app, right? But anyway, is that the full context? Does that kind of make sense?
That's beautiful. And
I can't remember the initial question.
Actually, that's perfect. And segueing on perfectly towards the end around, so you said in the last 2 weeks or last week, you built out a full-on app, which would have cost $250,000.
Oh, I mean, you know how much these things cost. $100,000 probably for an MVP of like a base thing. You're talking 800 to $1 million for and then plus the dev cost of keeping it going. So, and
we know people who have built apps, and we know the pain and the struggle and just the endless back and forth. And now what's the situation? What's happened?
Well, I want to touch on actually, I'll give context first. So I met this legend about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, out here in Bali. And at the time, I was just using ChatGPT. Good old the MySpace of AI, right? It's great. It's amazing. We all had that ChatGPT moment, right? And I always had this dream of building out the system fully integrated end to end. Think of like iClosed with Hyros, with Pipedrive, with a amazing Squarespace front end, linking in with all the attribution and data, full end to end with some sort of like HubSpot CRM, with a tracking thing of seeing progressions over time, built-in AI chatbot, everything on there. I always had this dream, but I was like, that's never going to happen. It's going to be 2-3 years. And I was like, okay, I'm going to raise money to do it. Then I met you, and we properly spoke about it. We got after it, did some workouts and did all the usual stuff. And then I met you, and actually I sent you the pitch deck, which was what I was sending to my investors. And you were like, I reckon you could probably build that yourself. And you very clearly said you could probably get it 80 to 90% of the way there. Right. And this is what you said there, the back and forth. I think this is the thing that I've noticed from my friends and from what my experience has been is you do something, you write it out on paper, you write it out on Figma, this is what it's roughly going to look like. You send it off to the dev, they send it back, and then you're like, great, change this. And one finished product might take a month if you're lucky, right? Especially if the dev's doing 3 or 4 projects, right? With Claude, and you can, we'll go through the stack and how exactly we built it. Even if right now it's 80 to 90%, there's still loads of bugs and it's still not working. It's the fundamental wireframe is done. The structure is done. Things like security, things those like all those important things, that might not be done. I have no idea what I'm doing in that, but I know what I want to build better than the developer. The developer's better at code, but I'm better at the design. He might have or she might have a better idea of what UX is and UI, but I know what I want. And that's the thing. So if I can give an AI full context on everything, I upload all my spreadsheets, I upload everything to it, I upload my website, I give it full context, then I build out a wireframe, which is kind of what I did on Friday morning. I for the last 2 weeks, I've got up at 4 and I haven't stopped till 9 p.m. every single day, because you guys said speed and execution. I was like, I can do that. That's cool. I've got the data, speed and execution. I locked myself in a room with Kira and we literally just did it. And it's basically it is a complete end to end. We've saved $1,500 a month on software costs for the gym, and let alone what it would have been for the actual build out. We've saved $250,000 for not just it's not even the fact of I don't even care if it's not fully working or not, because the thing is I have 200 people that I can test it on next week, and they love me and they love the gym, and they're like, this is 10 times better than the shitty thing we had before. Can I swear? The shitty thing that we had before, right? So they see that feeds in the data. I know what's working, and it's not like I have to get the logs from terminal and get the error report from Supperbase and then put the SQL. It's all integrated end to end. So I can just literally give the prompt to Claude, which is now built into Cursor, and it's all end to end linked in, and it has full context on everything, and it can just figure it out for me. That's been the game changer, because when I first started doing it on Friday morning, I learned it myself. I was like, okay, I think it takes 20 hours to learn any skill. People delay the first hour by 20 years. I think that's generally like the main thing, right? And so I've been through the cycle so many times. I was like, right, confront it. Just get up at 4 and I'm doing it. Let's just confront it. And within 3 hours, when Kira woke up, I was like, look at this. This is on Expo Go. It's on my phone. It's a complete wireframe. But look, that's an app, and I have no fucking clue what I'm doing, but it's a placeholder. How does that look? And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, okay, now I think I need Supperbase, and I need this, and I need that spilled out. And then we just started building it. And then when I showed you, you were like, no, by the way, you can integrate this into Cursor. You can then link it into Supperbase. You can have it all working so it can see everything. And then that's when it just took off. I just whisper flow. I just chat to it all day long. I'm on the website. I'm like, I queue like 20 things. It just works through it. I got this going and this going. And literally, at the minute, it's a complete end-to-end system of Squarespace. I literally just copied and pasted the code from Squarespace, because we built that in ChatGPT anyway. We don't use the drag and drop. We literally just say to ChatGPT, this is what I want, and you just get a code block. It's so much better. Got all of that, put it into Claude. It made it all for us. Then this morning, for example, I then fed it into another AI which knows more context about Cali, and which is the one that Kira is speaking to for the last 7 days about the decisions that we're making and things. Said, hey, by the way, here's my website. Evaluate the copy, give me an MD file, and I'll put it back into this. So it's just unreal, like how much it's developed. Has this been out for like a few months now, or has it been this good for a few months, or are we just like at the cutting edge?
Only really started getting really good when Opus 4.6 came out, which was about a month ago.
Great.
So
amazing. Yeah. I mean, this is why I love being in Bali, because I could be in the UK right now and I could be an amazing coach, but like I'm not solving the big fires. There are big fires going on, which is like I could have spent $250,000 to build a fucking app. That's a big fire. Right? And there's small fires that are going on, which I have no idea, and my team can handle it. But this is what we were talking about before. Kira's going back to the UK. She left yesterday, mainly to launch this new app, but also to have conversations with our team of like, guys, all the admin you were doing before, you don't need. They were spending 4 hours a day writing up dashboards. And I'm like, now that I own all the data and I can see all the data, I'll talk to you about the chatbot in a second because you told me about why it's actually important to have that. And I was like, oh my God, that's like seeing behind the fourth wall, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now that I have all the data, now I can actually give full context to it. I want to talk about the AI chatbot because you said in future, it will just be Claude and then everything will integrate into Claude. And you want to build out things where you essentially give the skills and the personas and different things. People can plug into it and then you would get to see the data of what they're asking for, right? Well, I did the exact same thing in my members, right? I said to I've got the front end, I've got the client and maybe they're watching, I got the admin side, which are my team. So I'm like, cool, well, what questions are my team asking? What questions are my clients asking? And what questions are my leads asking? All going into an AI chatbot, which then gets fed into a central database, Claude, all stored on Supabase. And then it can iterate and improve, and it can improve the copy based on what my literal clients are saying right now. And it can integrate back in. And I was like, yeah, you can see I'm excited. I'm sorry, the tism's coming out, but like, it's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's been a week.
This isn't a week. I can't believe that. Yeah. Like the most impressive part was we had that gym session and then the day after or whenever you came to the event, which was maybe 2 days after, you said, oh, I've built an app. I've built my entire pitch deck.
Yeah.
And you executed straight away. That's the only thing that matters nowadays,
100%.
as we spoke about at the event.
100%.
Anyone can have ideas.
Yeah.
Anyone can brainstorm. Anyone can plan out a content strategy. Anyone can plan out a pitch deck or whatever. But like the main thing is execution, speed to execution. And then what you said earlier was the reason you like Claude so much as opposed to a developer is you can just iterate with it live
100%.
in real time.
100%.
The feedback loop is so much shorter.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
And that's the beauty thing.
Yeah.
That's the same with anything. In sales, the quicker you get in the feedback loop, the better your sales will be.
100%.
The quicker you're getting development feedback loop, the better it will be.
100%.
So therefore with Claude now, you can just back and forth, wait for the prompt, which takes 2 minutes or however
100%.
long.
Like I reject the idea it's 10,000 hours. It's 10,000 iterations.
Exactly.
Like that's what it is. It's feedback loops. It's you play the piano, you play the violin, and you're the feedback loop because you get instant feedback. And if you have a coach there, guess what? You get more, right? And you can have that there. Claude is the coach. Claude is the person there. But it's also, this is the thing, it's giving the feedback because before I saw you at the event, I was having to copy and paste the error code from Supabase into Claude. Right? Into Claude and show it. And I was having to then get the SQL and put it back into Supabase. I was having to get terminal and say, hey, I got fucking no idea what I'm doing. It said this error message, figure it out. Right? Which still scares me a little bit knowing that like this whole thing is built on something that I don't know. That's the thing. But I think I'm confident enough with the ability of like, because Kira is so much more risk adverse, but in a good way. She's more realist than I am. I'm like, let's dive into it. Let's do it. She said, well, okay, but what happens if Claude dies tomorrow? Which it won't, but what happens if it does? And I was like, well, the thing is this is just code. This whole thing is code. Like it's not running on Claude. Claude built it, right? And it's elsewhere. Then I can deploy that and then maybe I have to bring in a dev. Okay, that's fine. But it's like, as long as I can get all the context and feed it back into Claude and constantly iterate on that, that's when it's going to be fine. So maybe some people are like, I don't know, maybe you're not technical or maybe you're maybe a bit scared. Like, I think everyone's a bit scared of it. If you weren't, I think you're lying to yourself a little bit. Like, it is scary. But I think it's like, go and try it. Go and see what you can do. Let me give you another example. Yesterday, at 12 o'clock, by the way, I run ultra marathons. I did Everest, the height of Everest in a day, 16 hours. I ran 103 kilometers, 5,000 meters of elevation gain. Took me 22 and a half hours, half marathons every day, Ironmans, all of it, all for charity, right? Mainly for men's mental health. And this is like my North Star. I want to stop men from killing themselves. Beautiful. That's my North Star. That's like, everything feeds to that. If Elon is getting to Mars, it's stop men from killing themselves. And I'm like, if I can have a gym and I can have communities, that helps men. If I can have an app and I can help people from home, that helps men. Like, it's all, again, you heard my story. That's my North Star. So yesterday, I was like, I had this itch. I hadn't ran in about 2 months because I just done so much. I just got burnt out. I was doing 100-mile weeks. And I was just like, fucked, right? And I really wanted to get good at Cali. Then yesterday, I got the itch and I was like, all right, I think I'm going to run. So I went on maps and I searched on maps and I saw this new place, Run Amok, right? 180 SPM. I went there, I WhatsApped them. I was like, yo, have you got my size for Saucony Endorphin Speed 5s, my favorite running shoes? And they were like, yeah, actually. I was like, cool, I'll be there in 10 minutes. Went there, bought the shoes. And then she was like, oh, by the way, the owner's downstairs. And I was like, sick. Went and spoke to the owners. And I was like, hey guys, what's up? And they were like, and we were chatting for like an hour. They only launched it 5 weeks ago. They were talking to me about ultras and challenges. I was talking to them about November and the work I do for them. Then on the way back, I went to Crate. I spoke to the owners of Crate, played some basketball with some guys. And while I was talking to them, they were like, what events are you doing? You got these new running shoes. What events? And I was like, I'm not sure. This morning, got up, went for a run, went around, and I was like, all right, let's do something big. So 2 years ago, the one event I've failed, attempt number one, but the one event I failed was me and a few buddies. My buddy has a charity called Eddie Street Cuts, amazing guy. He cuts hair for homeless people in Bath, amazing guy. We cycled the length of the UK. A day and a half in, my left knee explodes. Literally, I can't do anything. It's been a recurring issue of my knee. Running's fine. All this other stuff's fine. Knees, when I'm cycling, can't do it. Okay. So basically we were in Glasgow at the time because we were going from north down. I had to get the train back. Then I hired a car, drove it back up, and basically was a support vehicle for the rest of the 7 days, which worked out really well. Yeah. But in my head, I was like, all right, fucking redemption arc. Let's fucking go. What am I going to do? I'm not going to bike this motherfucker. I'm going to run it eventually. And then this morning, I was out on the run. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So for November, my goal is I want to try and raise 100 grand for November, running the length of the UK in 30 days. And I was like, all right, I know I can do it. 100%. I've done a half marathon every day. It's just double the volume over time. I can train for it. But guess what I did this time? Hello, Claude. Whipped it up. And I was like, I just spoke to it. Install Goggins persona. Yes, motherfucker. That's what I like to hear. Let's go. Went into, what's the audio one called?
11 Labs.
11 Labs. Got Goggins audio. That motherfucker started chatting to me. He was like, stay hard, motherfucker. This is what I like to see. And then Ross Edgley was like, oh, I don't know. You need to plan it. And then Hormonal, this is going to be great for branding. And like all these different personas. And I started bouncing off them for ideas. And then, because Kira is usually my person that I bounce ideas off of, this, like, I can bounce ideas with my heroes, right? And then I was like, all right, well, let's make this one level more. So I'm in Ollie AI, which is the full context of everything. I was like, all right, well, whip me up a website right now. Let's do it. Just deploy it on Versal. Let's see how it looks. Deployed it on Versal. I was like, that's pretty nice. Change that, move that around. All right, plan out the route for me. So plan out the whole route, 858 miles, whatever it is. I was like, I like it, but you've been lazy. Come on, man. Like, are we using Sonnet? Or are we using fucking Opus? Come on, bro. Like, but make this better. And it had like a Google Maps and just put like a straight line. I was like, nah, make it like there, make it interactive, do everything. Within 3 hours, I've got a whole site, which is talking about my history, the fact that I want to do it with my dad, because my dad and I never had an amazing relationship when I grew up, but I want to use this. It's like, he's 68. He hasn't got many years left, probably. He's just retired. I'm like, I haven't even told him yet, but I'm like, he'll probably want in. Let's do it. I'll message him tomorrow. He'll probably want in. Let's fucking do it, right? I want to get on. I want to use Momentum, which is my podcast platform. It's tiny. There's no point even mentioning it. It's gonna be growing. But again, it's what I said at the start. Like, men need other men. You know, we need to share our stories. We need to talk about what we're doing, and it had full context. It knew exactly what I liked. It knew what font I liked. It made the whole thing. It made the whole thing interactive. It linked in the back end to Movember so it could display the fundraising live. And I was like, holy fuck, that's ready to share. Like, I could share this right now and start raising money right now. Guess what it can do? Scrape the internet and find me the best people on X, Y, and Z. Draft me an email, and like, I basically just have like Zapier webhooks linked up so that it can just send out the emails from Zapier. I don't know if I can even do it natively properly.
Remind me that. I'll tell you exactly.
You can tell me. Or like, I've got Sakari and then timelines and all these different things just like linked up with APIs. And it's just like, that is, again, speed. It's gone from Thursday lunchtime. What day is it? I don't even know what day it is. Friday lunchtime, Saturday lunchtime, having an idea to get some running shoes, to Sunday morning with you. It hasn't even been 24 hours. And I've already got the whole thing planned, and I've committed. And I think this is a big thing for me as well. It's like, I think environment dictates your behavior. You want to learn French? You can download Duolingo. You can get a French teacher, or you move to France. All right, burn the fucking boats.
Yeah.
And it's a commitment is elimination of alternatives, right? Strategy is pitting limited resources against unlimited opportunities, right? Commitment, I think, is all right. Speed, get it done. You don't get these moments often, right? And let's decide, which is decadere, which means to kill off. Let's kill off the alternatives, and then bam, now it's done. I'm like, all right, I got to do it now.
Yeah,
let's go. So. Yeah, you're going to get lots of side quests from me today, probably, and lots of little segues. But like that, I think, is the power of it. I think when you move fast, when you make decisions, when you realize that, like, why am I spending so long? Like, again, the classic thing, I have 8 hours to cut down a tree, 5 hours sharpening a saw. This time it becomes 2 minutes to sharpen the saw because I can do it so much faster. Then I can start hacking the tree down, because that's the thing. Everyone's got ideas, right? But it's like you have to get to the first iteration and then fucking test. Get it out there. I float the idea by you. If you went, Ollie, I think 100 gig is a bit too unrealistic. I'm like, all right, cool. More data. I respect your opinion. I'll go back. I'll roundtable it. Let's talk about it. But it's like, just speed to deploy. Just get it out there, get it done, and then test. And that, I think, is the most powerful thing.
And exactly what you said about the community. How do you throw yourself in deep end with AI? How do you just burn the bridges? How do you... And that's exactly what you did. You installed Claude, you installed Cursor, you installed the terminal. You started immediately battling it, going back and forth, having that harsh iteration. And this is the one technology where if you don't know how to use it, it's the thing that will tell you how to use it. So
exactly,
like that's the thing I think business owners will need to do.
Yeah.
They need to burn the bridges by installing, putting all of their data into Claude or into like a Cursor environment or a big file path, and then just going back and forth with its business.
100%.
And that's like the thing, the same with the benefit of the community or the mastermind we had last week. How would everyone know to have used Claude? How would everyone have known to do this or do it like this?
No chance.
Like, okay, you can possibly stumble across a YouTube video, but like nothing really shows the power of everyone being like, wow, these are my business issues, which can be solved right now by embracing this technology.
100%.
Which is...
I was sitting there in that room and I was like, imagine being able to talk to Hormozy. And now I'm like, yeah, it's just a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, in my opinion, the biggest thing that you gave me was unknown unknowns. That I think is the only thing that matters nowadays.
Yeah.
It's the unknown. It's literally, it's the ignorance. It's not knowing that you can do this.
Yeah.
Because if someone actually knew they could do this, I think ignorance is actually the root of all evil, in a way. We're going to get into the spiritual stuff later. But I genuinely think it is. You can't both hate and understand someone at the same time. But in terms of ignorance, if you're telling me if someone actually played this out and they knew that it wouldn't fail and they had complete certainty that they wouldn't do this, of course you would. It's this, there's fears, there's doubts. It's like, what if it doesn't work? What if motherfucker, it takes 5 hours in the morning. Just test it. Just try it. Just get there. You have both the piano teacher and the audience sitting in front of you. That's actually a really good analogy. I like that.
Yeah.
The piano teacher's there teaching you the piano and the audience is giving you feedback. And it's like, cool, just iterate. Go for it. And then you can ask both at the same time and you can develop it. So I want to ask you a question. You know, I was watching Elon yesterday and he was saying 10, 20 years ago, maybe more, 30, 40 years ago, we used to have literal office buildings of humans doing calculations. Right. And now we have the calculator, or now we have a spreadsheet, a laptop open, and we have a spreadsheet. And what he was kind of talking about was you could have this whole spreadsheet, which everything is so much faster than a human being. But imagine if one of those cells was a human being. It becomes the bottleneck for everything in the rest of the spreadsheet. So what's your opinion on like AI first businesses? What would your advice be to me or a business owner in general in implementing that? Do we have to just burn the boats and go all in AI first? Like, what's the stages towards this and where do you see it going?
Yeah. Well, you got to look at it by two perspectives. What is humans really good at and what are they meant for?
Right.
And what's AI really good at and what's AI meant for? Right. For example, if you had one person in your company doing all the calculations instead of just running it by a calculator, running it by an algorithm or something, then that human's a bottleneck.
Sure.
So then the same thing with a human doing tasks which AI can steamroll through, for example, simulate ideas back and forth, content ideation, understand your ideal profile, all of that kind of stuff because now it's able to simulate that in real time for a business owner. So it's perfect for that. So if you still have a person writing the copy, testing out that copy, posting the copy to the website every single time, that's clearly the bottleneck. And that's still what I'd say 80, 90% of people.
Oh, 99?
You've seen that graph where it's like 1%.
What was it? 1%
like
are
1%
using it, and then 1% of that use it every day.
8% of the world have like a ChatGPT account, not even like a pro account. And then out of that, it's like 1% actually have subscribed to ChatGPT. Less than 1% have a pro account. And then less than even one of that are using Claude, have ever heard of Claude skills, code. Like this is a very, very small percentage of business owners who know this.
Yeah.
And you've seen the potential. Everyone's seen the potential now about what is possible. And think about the advantage you have over every single one of the other people who don't know how to do it. Like, for example, Hormozi's posting 50, 60 pieces of content a day. How is anyone going to match him? And then if you don't have enough team, apparently he spends like at least a few $100,000 on content a month.
Exactly.
Minimum. If you don't have that team, if you don't have any of that, how are you supposed to compete with him?
Yeah.
Now
100%.
that's going back to what we were saying earlier. How do you place humans so that they're not the bottleneck in a company?
Yeah. Nice.
So we have humans doing the stuff that need to be done. What's the human executing? Like, for example, running the run, speaking it, doing the marketing, creating the content, doing the podcast.
Yeah.
That's can't be done by AI because, of course, you can't create an AI podcast of Ollie giving the AI Ollie thoughts.
Yeah.
There's no one better to explain it than the real Ollie.
Can it?
Maybe in the future,
but not now.
Yeah, but in the future, then what's the point of like having a real person on a podcast?
Sure.
Then what's the point of having you if you're not giving you authentic experiences?
Yeah, I want to double click on this in another section, but I want to segue. First off, double clicking on that. What are the things that humans can't be replaced for? Is there like, have you got like a framework? Have you got like a triple thing? The thing I kind of said to you at the start was like connection, community, and coaching. Mm-hmm. Those were my three that I've been really, because again I had the ChatGPT moment, which I was like, oh, I'll never have to write email again. I'll never have to write copy again. Although you get a bit sick and tired of the no fluff, no excuses, just results. Yeah, but then the long hyphens.
Yeah, but then what you do is train it to make it sound
of course. No. But like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like, I had that moment. I was like, what? I've had that with Claude the last 2 weeks. But what things there? But also, as a second point, we can come to this later. Do you feel this impending urgency? I maybe it's I don't know if it's a bad thing. It's actually kind of reflected a bit bad with me and Kira, because I'm like, I'm sorry, Kiwi. I call her Kiwi. I'm like, but I have to do this because the whole world's coming for this. And we have to be fair. Like, we've literally just arrived in Alaska. We're sitting on gold. We've got to fucking start mining because everyone else is coming. Do you feel that?
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
It's a big wave.
Yeah.
Like, we are one of the top 0.001% of people who have arrived here.
Yeah.
And especially in this ecosystem here in Bali. We're now getting a community of people who know how to do this. Yeah. And everyone else will find out. And then like the same thing now is what's happened with software. Okay, we realized we could make our developers 10 times more efficient with software.
Yeah.
And then just get projects better done than anyone else. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But now everyone's making a software. Like, for example, you see info people who are selling courses on how to dropship or how to random stuff, creating their own software. Now, once everyone's creating their own software just for the sake of creating a software because they saw you can have an exit for $1 billion company in the future, then you're like, this opportunity is a little bit saturated. Where's that golden opportunity out there? And this is the golden opportunity right now. Which is the AI operating system, or the AI, like the Claude system we were talking about. So in getting a full-on operating system for your business, getting a full-on operating system to understand all the data and allow you to execute faster than everyone else.
That makes sense.
And then beat the competition.
That makes so much sense. And then going back to my first question, what can humans still do? What if you dive deep on these? So like, because again, I see you in-person events, podcasts, meetups in person, like that's it, right? And I guess it's the personal branding, it's the doing the run clubs, it's having the story, right? What are those for you, I guess? And like, and again, this is coming. Yeah. Like, I can't even describe the impending sense of doom, right? But also of bliss. Like, I wake up in the morning and I'm just so I literally got you can see my watch, 3.5 hours sleep for a week, like each day, because I was literally just like, I have so much left on the table right now, and I can see it. I can see the end in one of my superpowers is I can see 5 years now, and I have to just reverse engineer it. That's like, Kira's very good at seeing where we're at now and the things that can go wrong. I'm like, where could this go? And I just saw it so clearly. And then I built V1. I was like, oh my God, there's a whole other level. Built V2. Oh my God, there's a whole other level. Oh my God. And then you're probably going to tell me stuff after this. And I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, so what should business owners be focusing on? Okay, I've got 6 full-time staff back in the gym. I've got 14 coaches, right? What do I tell them? What do I pivot? Because they're not going to be doing admin anymore. They're not going to be doing any of that shit. They might be doing a little bit, and they were farming the crops. Now the tractor's arrived, and they got to man the tractor. What is that in today's world?
That's actually a very interesting analogy you made. Because, for example, when the tractor came out, the Industrial Revolution, everyone said, oh, there's not going to be any more jobs anymore. There's not going to be any more, because what are we going to do?
Yeah.
But then that created new industries.
Yeah.
That created, apparently, like 50% of the world were in agriculture once upon a time.
Yeah.
And now only 2% of the world are in agriculture.
Wow.
But there are more jobs now than there ever has been back then. Because that allowed people to become managing the agriculture, the supplying, the logistics, all of this kind of stuff, shipping, industries. That's exactly what's happening right now. Yeah. People are going to say, okay, it's maybe taking all jobs. It'll take all the jobs which we don't need to be doing.
Yeah.
And then that goes back to the point of what are the actual use cases for humans. And I agree with you. It's personal brand. Mm-hmm. It's telling a story, being authentic. I think authenticity is the root. I think it's actually the highest level of vibration someone 100%. Can operate at. Authenticity, doing what you're built for, doing what comes naturally, doing what you enjoy. That is what AI will allow all of us to do now. We can execute, we can operate, we can just do stuff with speed, gain stories, tell stories, inspire people. This is why the event last week was so valuable, because all of these people understand about AI or use ChatGPT or whatever, but then there's like, you put someone in a new environment and then you give them that little bit of, this is possible. It's like when you take someone from a village in Bulgaria and you put them into a city in London, they're like, I didn't know this even existed. That's the exact same thing that can happen with communities. You can take someone out of where they are, show them the potential, and then they can go find it out for themselves.
100%.
And that is exactly as you said, ignorance. There's probably stuff that people can take me out of my environment, put me in a different place, and I will be mind-blown. And that's the thing, those quantum jumps has to happen with humans. Yeah. And that's, someone will mention something. Yeah. And AI will do what you tell it, right? AI, you tell it to do something, but it won't mention that,
have you done
You could probably do this with Claude.
Why doesn't it do that? Is it not smart enough yet?
There's actually 5 levels of AI.
Okay, go on, hit me.
And the first one was, I think, just LLM. Yeah. Don't quote me on this, but the first one was LLM. The second was, I think, reasoning. So going back and forth. Yeah. So instead of just text, it's because it was like or AI was generated to predict the next word in a sentence, right? Yeah.
And then they realized that you could just crank it to more volume, and that's what ChatGPT did.
Exactly. Right. So 3.5 was just, it was able to generate stuff. It didn't actually have it had structure. It was like a normal book, but it didn't have like the meaning behind it. Sure. It didn't have the what it is now. Yeah. But then the second level of AI, which was reasoning.
Yes.
So when an AI could do something, and then it could reason against itself, and then it would come to a bit more of a absolute, like a standpoint. Right. And so that was, I remember that's when GPT-01 came out, if you ever remember that. Yeah. Yeah. So they said, we have reached level 2.
Right. Which is like the thinking thing.
For the reasoning thing.
Sure. Makes sense.
Thinking, yeah. Yeah. And then level 3 was agentic or agents.
Cool.
And agents now.
That's right now.
Is exactly where we are right now, where it can do stuff on your behalf.
So you can tell it to do something, it plans, and then it runs multiple instances of the agents in parallel, checks them, then brings it all back together, then deploys.
Exactly. Think of it like, say for example, you tell ChatGPT, or this is the difference between an LLM and an agent. And we're right in the midst of agentic workflows. We're in the agent era. You tell ChatGPT, write me my copy for my website. Fine, it'll write you the copy for the website. You tell an agent, what's the best copy to write for this website? It'll write you the copy. It'll then find your ICP, test it against your ICP back and forth. It'll simulate different environments.
Sure.
How Alex Hormozy would write that copy, how Jeremy Haynes would write that copy, whatever. And then the agent would even push it to your website.
Yeah.
It can do stuff on your behalf.
Sure.
So instead of just doing one thing, give me this, give me that, an agent can actually do proactively stuff on your behalf.
So almost like we've gone from the tractor to the people who manage the tractors.
Exactly. And agents are sort of that's why
and they're better at managing tractors than humans, but they don't know where to put the farms.
They
don't know.
They don't know what crops to grow or how to grow the crops or whatever.
So we tell the manager it knows the perfect route to take and all this kind of stuff in the flow of the farms, and it knows, okay, turn on the sprinklers at this time and blah blah blah, and it can do all that for us, but it still doesn't understand I don't know, fundamental I don't know. What doesn't understand, I guess.
Well, that's where we're getting onto with stage 4.
Right.
So 1 LLM, 2 research thinking, 3 agents, and now number 4 is what is probably going to be coming. It's actually intuition. It's actually going to be able to do stuff on like think intuitively.
Right.
Have also almost like come up with inventions, come up with stuff which it hasn't been told to do.
Right.
It hasn't been trained on, but it actually goes out and starts inventing, or it starts discovering stuff on its behalf. And then that's stage 4, and that's stage 5. I can't remember, but it's
AGI. Stage 5 is AGI.
I believe, yeah. Maybe stage 4 is actually AGI, but stage 5 is ASI, definitely.
Right.
Where it's super intelligent.
This fascinates me. Like maybe you don't want to get, but it fascinates me, guys. So I want to ask, what are they doing to take this to the next level? Is it just more GPUs? Is it just more energy? Is it more data training? Because like, again, I was listening to Elon yesterday and he was talking about going to space and how he thinks that eventually the space will vastly outweigh the tokens produced by the Earth, purely because you can have day and night, you don't have to have batteries, and it's the power constraint, and it's even constraints like on turbines to create the generators to then create the power, and all these different things. So he said going to space and having them in space eventually, like it will be, it's like a supply demand curve, like event that it will take ages to get to the point, but then it will overlap and completely take over but what's actually going on? Like, is it, like I said, more GPUs, more compute? What is it?
Yeah. What to train these AIs?
Yeah.
What's the limiting factor?
Yeah, to go from 3 to 4.
Yeah. That is where the world is at the minute. So I think the main constraint right now is probably energy.
Okay.
We don't have enough energy.
Yeah. It's like half a terawatt, isn't it, for the US?
Yeah. Like, for example, you need to make there's like sort of a graph where you see energy input to AI compute it's like a linear line.
Right.
So the more energy you have, the cleverer the AIs will get.
Right.
It's probably got diminishing returns towards the end, like a logarithmic graph.
Yeah.
But at the moment, energy is at bottleneck because we can't produce enough energy because we have to power cities, we have to power all of this, and then dedicate it. But then also, we don't have the infrastructure. Even if we had 100 terawatts of power, we wouldn't have all the data centers, we wouldn't have all the chips, and we wouldn't have all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting to see how Elon's thinking about it. Yeah. Because he's like, okay, how do we approach this from first principles?
Yeah.
First principles is
it gives me goosebumps. I'm sorry.
The guiding thing throughout. 100%. I think every business owner should think.
Physics is the law and everything else is a recommendation.
And like, for example, you saw the other day, he's now started a new company, or not even a new company, but a new subdivision within SpaceX called Terrafab. And he realized, what's the bottleneck? Okay, energy is one, so that's why we need to get to space. Tesla's on the leading fronts of energy with solar and all of this kind of stuff.
And they're doing their chips.
And the Terrafab is now going to be producing chips.
Yes.
The hardest manufacturing problem in the world. Have you seen Veritassim's video?
Yes.
On
and
manufacturing
Taiwan
chips?
And the fact that Taiwan are the best in the world because of the fact that they have earthquakes and they live and and it's the fact that it has to get down to like the nanometer and all that kind of stuff.
You're blasting a drop of tin with electrons.
There's another really good video on it recently as well about why Taiwan wins, and it's so interesting.
And this is why the whole world is pinned on Taiwan. Yeah. That's like the key to the entire. That's why China.
What do the chips do in terms of AI? What do the chips do? They run the net.
They're the ones that they do all the algorithms.
Sure.
The linear algebra, if you want to
Sure.
in technical terms.
Yeah.
They just do really complex algorithms to train these AI models.
So they train it, and then they basically train the GPUs to run
The
it.
chips is basically a GPU. A GPU is a chip.
You can see how much little I know about this, but
but that's perfect.
Yeah.
A chip is a GPU.
Right.
And we can go so much into it.
Yeah,
the CPU is like a single layer of processing, like one layer.
Yeah.
A GPU is in parallel layers.
Yeah.
So instead of being one like that,
Yeah.
GPUs all, and that's why NVIDIA has such a big run, because they were the first people to the GPU technology.
Yeah. And then the Apple M's take over and
and then the next level above that is the CPU, GPU, and then there's a TPU.
Right.
Tensor processing unit.
Right.
And that's what Google has been training their AI models on. Google is leading the front on that. And that's why, if you remember, towards the end of last year, it was breaking news when Google, Gemini 3 came out. And this was like the first model which had been trained fully on TPUs. Wow. And it was so groundbreaking because it's a new technology people didn't think would work.
Right.
And it got models better than what there currently was, with far less compute and more efficiently.
Makes sense.
So that's why TPUs above that, and then of course you probably got QPUs above that, quantum, and the technology is not quite there yet.
That's gonna break encryption and stuff, isn't it?
But then that's when quantum really happens and ASI happens. Like, we're hitting singularity. Like,
exactly.
There's sort of.
But it's good. This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
If we don't blow ourselves up before that,
exactly,
then
and this is what I kind of said. I was like, this puts me a bit more at ease, because I'm like, oh, there are bottlenecks. Like, it's literal bottlenecks on turbines, literal bottlenecks on, we're not even in space properly yet. Starship kind of works, but it's not properly working. You know, it's like nothing will make me more happy than seeing Starship doing 10,000 launches a year. Yeah. Like, nothing. I've followed SpaceX from like Falcon, the originals, it makes me so happy. But like. And also, like, with energy, like, China has 4 times the electric output of the US, and that's more of a proxy for the size of their economy than GDP, right? Because it links more, like, so China's like fucking us right now, like absolutely fucking the world in terms of it. It's so top of mind at the minute.
It's so interesting to speak about, like, the geopolitics situation.
Yeah.
The only reason, like, whoever has the most powerful AI will control the new world order.
Yeah.
Right.
And what is that?
Really don't know. It's
robots, AI. Because Elon was saying, sorry, but I shouldn't be touching back in. I'm just getting into it. Elon was saying how with the robots, the first people who obviously this is obvious. Everyone can understand this, right? The first people who make the robots can then have robots who make the robots, and then it's exponential.
Exactly.
That's obvious.
Right? That's why ASI or AGI is so powerful, because you can, instead of having a team of human researchers, you can have ASI, which is surpassing or matching the level.
Why do we still need researchers?
Well, at the moment we do, because we haven't reached ASI. But once because, like, for example, Claude, Anthropic, they're using their own technology to make their own existing technology better. Because
they got really good at understanding the logs of actually being able to understand what was going wrong. Because again, we always talk about, I did a dissertation on this actually with AI in civil engineering. And there was always the problem of the black box, which is you don't actually know what decision it's making. But Anthropic were the ones that basically put logs as to what neuron was literally what was happening and why it was going wrong. And that was the big leap, right? In a way. Fascinating, man. So basically, yeah, we've got time. I was saying this at like the event. I think there's 2 people I meet. There's one person who's like, nah, fuck AI. I don't want to do it. And the other person is like, you know what? Really, fuck AI, because I'm going to get replaced anyway. So I'm just going to coast. And I very rarely meet the third person. It's like, let's ride the wave. Let's go. I'm very rare. Maybe 1%. It's like the classic thing. 90 people in a war are just fodder. 9% do a bit of the fight, and then 1's a warrior. Yeah. Right. And I think that's the distribution that I'm genuinely seeing. So yeah, I mean, what advice? Well, again, build out the operating system, get learning it, get on the curve, because it's not going to replace us anytime soon. I think it will in 3 to 5, 10 years. Who cares?
Yeah, but at the end of the day, then it's so interesting to see what the future will be like. I don't think anyone really knows what the future will be like.
Okay, yeah.
You can only maybe extrapolate it from what the past has been like through industrial revolutions.
100%. But 100%. And did the farmers care? No. No, it's like the Balinese. Do they care that a lot of us are coming over here and like living here? Like they actually, I think most of them enjoy it, right? And they're getting their economy boosted and they're enjoying it more. They have access to opportunities. Similar kind of thing. I think it's like, I reject the idea that things are good or bad. It just is.
Yeah.
Like, can we all just shut up and be like, oh, my job? No, fuck off. Like, the crocodile doesn't care if it eats the fucking deer, whatever. It's just the world, and it's gonna happen. And we live in capitalism, and so it's whoever wins this will win, right? And let's just ride the wave. And we're all gonna die, or we're all gonna live in abundance.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that's literally it. So it's like, and let's be real, we live in abundance. I can do whatever I want with my day. Like, I can fly back, I can fly anywhere in the world, wherever I want. I'm not rich, but like, in my eyes, I have pure abundance because I have complete freedom. And because I've said in my eyes, I don't need X level of wealth in order to do this. I can choose freedom, then build wealth, right? So I genuinely think the world will have the same thing if they're okay living on a little bit less of, or maybe they're, what were you going to say? Go on.
No, that's super, because, okay, but you and I have a completely different mindset to the average population.
Fine.
We're like, we can do whatever we set our minds to will happen.
Yeah.
Whatever, we'll find a way
it's my fault
to make it.
if it's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Taking 100% self-accountability, trying to be as useful to the world, and just figuring out every problem. But then say, for example, everyone has the same amount of abundance, or it's not really a wealth issue because like everyone can make this kind of wealth. We've done it. Everyone else can do it.
Elon hasn't got a better version of Grok than we do.
Exactly. Like, everyone has the same cars. Everyone has the same access to the same amount of information on the internet. It's not like there's a difference.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, once you have all that freedom, are you actually going to act on it, or are you going to be enslaved into it? Okay, you've got the freedom to go everywhere, but then you decide to spend all day scrolling through TikTok. Like, is that freedom? Is that? And then, as you were saying earlier, how do you become that 1% that rides the wave? Right? You have to just execute it. You have to take the opportunity by the balls and run with it. Right?
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, you can talk about it, theorize how Claude is going to take your job and all of this, but then use Claude and see the possibilities, what it's going to have, and then implement it and then start reaping the rewards of the benefits. So there's two mindsets. You can either be afraid of AI and just theorize around it, or embrace the opportunity and go run with it, see what benefits it has, and then by doing that, you'll be able to ride the wave, you'll be able to see it from a higher perspective, so you've got higher ground than everyone else, seeing what they're doing, because you're up, you've got bliss, because you understand everything's taken care of. And that's the same thing with like how I felt with getting employees. It's like,
dude,
you can now take instead of working in the business all the time, you can work on the business.
Did you feel bad when you first had employees?
No, because it was...
No, sorry. I'll tell from my story. I felt bad when I first left the gym, traveled the world, because I was like, they haven't got the same opportunity. And I was like, no, motherfucker, they do. Yeah. They do. They can quit any moment. They can go do what I did. They didn't sleep in the gym for 6 months. Like, I mean that. Like we literally, in the arch next to the gym, in a cold, wet, like there was a frog in the corner. It used to frog at night. There was a train going over the top, about 20 every single night. Used to wake me and Kiwi up. Literally slept on the gym mats next door to the gym, and it used to get moldy because it was so wet. And we slept there for 6 months. We were making the new gym because we had no cash flow. Yeah, I was like, and you know what? The whole time we said to each other, I'm not even kidding. It gives me fucking goosebumps. This is why we'll win. It made me so happy. It was the happiest we've ever been, and like, everyone has the opportunity to do that. Everyone right now, you can't quit your job, motherfucker. Are you kidding? No, you can't quit your job because your expenses are so high. What's that thing that Naval says? There's only two things that are bad: taxes and a consistent paycheck.
Yeah, perhaps, yeah.
Because it's basically the consistent paycheck then links to your expenses and nothing gets left in the bank account. And so you just ride the wave of growing the expenses, and then you can't ever reduce the income because your expenses match it. This is why tech founders, this is why I think it's stupid that we basically we detriment tech founders for selling out for 50 million and take half of it, right? It's like, no, they've had nothing for 5 years and then they get a payout. They've created so many jobs. Oh, don't even get me started on the UK. But like, what I'm basically saying is, I think right now we live in the age of abundance. You can travel anywhere for like cheap. You can go, you can work from anywhere. You can learn anything. Everyone has access to information. Like, when we launched our gym, we had no money in our bank account, nothing. And I signed up to Gym Launch. Do you know how much gym launch was? 25 grand. Because guess what? I was like, if we do gym launch, we're going to win. 100%. And we were early stage gym launch when Alex and Layla were still there. It was fucking amazing, right? But guess what I did? I had 30 days to make the money. So I went to all my PT clients and I was like, hey guys, we're launching this new gym. You like it, right? This was the Arch. They all paid up. 6 or 7 paid up, 4 grand each. Done. And it's like resourcefulness, not resources. And I love this. Like, one video I think everyone in the world should watch is just type in the best sales training on the internet by Alex Hormozy, because it's not sales. It teaches you how to make decisions. And there are basically, in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, there are things that people give power away to. And I define blame as give power to. So if you're blaming something, you're just giving power to them. And what you need to help people realize, this is so good, because I think this is actually coming back to what the root of it is, which is that everyone has decisions they can make themselves. Everyone has the power to learn Claude and actually do this, right? When you bring it back, you put it as 3 buckets that people give power to: circumstances, others, and self. Circumstances is, I don't live in the right country, and this is not right for me, or it's a bad time macro, which is this is a busy season for me. Time micro, which is I haven't got the time of my day, blah blah blah. And there's overcomes you can do for each one. So for example, I haven't got time of my day. There was actually a funny moment. I had the same thing of Kira, and a week ago, she was like, "Can we please just do this project?" And I was like, "No, I haven't got the time." And she whipped out my phone. She showed it to me. I was like, "Hey, look, I found your time." And it was me on Instagram. And what I realized was, if you really want something, you make time for it, because you pay for the things you want with your 2 bank accounts, which is your real bank account and your calendar, right? And so what you pay attention to grows, blah, 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 right? Yeah. And the same thing with time macro. Then it goes to others, which is I'm blaming others. And then it goes to self, which is I need to think about it, blah, blah, blah. Guess what everyone's doing with AI? Circumstances, others, self. Right? It's like, I don't know. Basically everyone's saying, I'll wait for it to happen to me.
Yeah.
That's what they're saying. I either fuck this, like it's gonna be bad, it'll happen to me, or I'm just not technical. I'm just not smart enough. Or what Kira's doing, I'll just let Ollie do it, because he's got the tism and he's gonna fucking go crazy on it. And that's great. If you can split this with your partner, where one of them is maybe more technical and less technical, I can only be doing 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. every single day, because she runs the business. She's on a flight right now back to the UK because she is the operator. Like, we literally modeled ourselves off Alex and Layla, right? Like, if I don't spend my time, well, I think Google did a study of like how you should be distributing your time in terms of like new things and then current things and whatever it is. Can't remember the numbers, but you should at least be putting a little bit of your time into like, maybe I should just try this, because if this works, it's like AWS with Amazon, right? AWS accounts for what, 50% of Amazon's revenue?
Probably.
And it was literally just like a little side project they just started up.
Because they decided, we have extra compute. Let's see what we can do with it.
And it's 50%. Yeah. And the thing is, all right, okay, what if you fail? Motherfucker, it's attempt 1, attempt 2. Do you think I'm going to complete my run in November? I don't care. Do you think I cared last 2 years ago when I failed on the bike? No, you just try. And you just change your perspective on failure, and you just try. And guess what? You can do 100 iterations now, because you can, and you have the thing in front of you to teach you into, don't get me started.
It's 100%. But you also saw from the event, like all the people that moved as quick and were like, let's get this done. Yeah. How do we do this? Teach me everything about it. Yeah. Like straight away. Yeah. We had people reaching out to us the night, like when the event finished at 10 o'clock. Yeah. We had people reaching us at like 1 o'clock. How do we do this? How do we do this? Please, let's meet up. And then they came around to our place at like 9 a.m. in the morning the day after.
Who did you see who didn't do it?
No,
not saying who. Yeah. What were their characteristics?
Well, you could clearly see there was a few people who had all the opportunities in the world, and they have everything lined up to make everything come true. And then they were like, oh, you know me, this event wasn't for me. I don't really like to chat with people too much, and yeah. And then you can clearly see it. That's the people that are not doing the best. And then you can clearly see the people who have probably got a million things going on. Actually, I was speaking to a guy. I had dinner with a guy yesterday who got, I think, a big investment on Shark Tank
Cool.
by Mark Cuban.
Amazing.
And we're like, what's your relationship with Mark Cuban? How often do you speak to him? What does it work? You probably message him or you give him a call. How quick does it take to respond? He said he responds in 5 minutes.
Wow.
Mark Cuban, one of the richest people in the world, got probably the most responsibilities and responds to you in 5 minutes. And I've heard the same with Elon, and it's a very common trait with all successful people.
Wow.
And if they can make the time to message you like that, then your employee who is at the gym or is at coding or whatever, and they takes you a few hours to respond, or it takes you a day or 24 hours or 48 hours.
Wow.
That doesn't make sense.
Love it.
Like,
no, that's a nice
the thing
reframe.
with high achievers.
Nice.
They are acting straight
I love
away.
that.
They know exactly what to do.
I
Or
love it.
even if they don't know what to do, they're just making those failures.
Dude, I love
that
it.
fast iteration feedback. And that relates to everything we've been saying in this conversation.
100%. Thank you for the reframe.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story of a separate adjacent thing to that. When I first got into the gyms and I set up my booking software, I was like, oh, what's go high level and what's a fucking CRM and all this kind of stuff. And I said to my coach, I was like, shouldn't I kind of like drop my availability and make it less because it looks like I'm more busy? And he was like, no, open up all the calendar, 15-minute increments, and just say you're available all the time. And I was like, doesn't that look like I'm like needy? He was like, no. We ran, Hormozy used to run a company literally scheduling, and he was like, the number one thing that matters is speed to lead and availability.
Yeah.
That's it. And like across everything, it's speed to lead, availability. And I was like, I literally, the next, like when I heard it again a year later, I set up like a whole Zap flow that literally pinged on Slack my setter of how fast he got back to the lead. And like things like that. And like, I just opened the availability. I was like, I'll fucking call you at Saturday at 9 p.m. I don't care. Sunday at 6 a.m. I do consultations in the gym at Sunday at 6 a.m. It's like, fuck it. Let's do it. That's when everyone's free. So no, I like that. It's a good reframe.
And I've seen it so many times myself.
Yeah.
Whenever I want to buy a service or need help from someone, I want to say something or apply to their type form or whatever, and then get that call straight away. And I will, that's the thing with successful entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
The speed to lead, they want everything to happen right here.
Where does that
right
urgency come from?
Because
like, no, like some people I think are just coasting. Like Elon, he has everything in the world, and yet he has maniacal sense of urgency. He rocks up to the SpaceX fucking in Boca Chica and literally goes, all right, everyone's working 24-hour shifts for the next 7 weeks because we need to get the next thing. Where does that come from?
Yeah.
Because I think I have it. And I don't know if it's insecurity. I don't know if it's doubt. I don't know if it's fear. Or it's just like there's so many opportunities. Where do you think it comes from?
Just maybe the ability to see the future and the ability to see what's happening and see what happens if you don't achieve this.
Sure.
For example, I can see right now, this opportunity is the biggest opportunity.
100%. Yeah.
We pivoted our software company in 4 weeks to focus on this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We had so much dedicated time, everything.
Yeah.
We pivot everything and we're moving. We created the event in 1 week.
Yep.
We've done all the marketing.
Yep.
We've now got about 25 pieces of content to record in the last 4 days we've done. Like all of this kind of stuff.
No way.
Speed.
Yeah.
And that's the only way now.
Yeah.
Like you see someone posting, Alex Hormozy posting 100 pieces of content a day and you're like, how do I compete with that? Just start posting as much as possible.
Exactly.
And like you've seen with people going viral on social media.
Yep.
Like they're posting 4 or 5 times a day.
Is that it? No, but like genuinely, again, there's something that I have a massive skill gap in, and I just don't understand, which is branding and social media. Is it literally just volume?
100%.
Yeah.
Volume negates luck.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah.
But like, is it just? But then, it's like spending ads on a shit business. You just let more people know your shit. So what level of volume do you how do you match the quality and the quantity? Do you just put out like what are you looking at the minute in terms of that?
In terms of exactly?
Like how if you look at a curve of quality and quantity, right? Like do you have like minimum standards? Are you using AI to make your content? Do you have editors? What do you so like okay, I say priority is what you put prior. What are you putting prior right now for your weeks, right? So you are software, you're like fuck that. You're obviously, you're spending time here, right? Yeah. So what are you spending time on in your week as a person of like, hey, you practice what you preach, you see this, you know those 3 C's, connection, community. What are you spending your time on right now?
It's whatever's going to have the highest leverage.
Okay, sure.
Whatever, for example, like a piece of content like this, there's actually, Naval Ravikant has these five capitals of leverage.
Yeah.
And that's exactly the way I think of it.
Nice.
There's 5 principles.
Yeah.
There's Capital, which is the money you have. Code, which is something that can be repeated, automated, all of that. Content, which is what we're doing right now. Network, which is the people you meet. And then there's labor.
I didn't hear the network one.
Yeah.
That was that recent
maybe it's
edition.
community.
Everyone has
I
didn't hear that. I only heard it as 4.
There's 4 or 5.
One.
So
you're right.
Code, capital, content, network, and labor.
Yeah.
And like, for example, you can look at how successful a business is going to be or any operation. And this is what we do actually when we work with some of the done for you clients. We apply this 5 principles and we're seeing what are they lacking. Maybe they got a lot of money, but they have no content. How do we do that? For example, why is Facebook ads one of the best vehicles to grow any business? Because it has every single one of them. It has code, it has content, it has capital, the money you invest into it, network, Facebook or Instagram, and labor, people seeing it. It has everything. That's why it's so effective. Cold email, maybe on the other hand, it has network, code, content, capital,
Nice.
And so, for example, that. But like, for example, if you just do door to door or just like sending out a leaflet or something, okay, maybe it's no code, so it's not automated. Capital, okay, fine, you have to spend money.
Nice.
But it's like,
see it.
Is that if you apply that framework, like for example, right now, this is content. This can be clipped up, posted on all different platforms. It's network as well.
Yeah. Can we apply it to my business?
Yeah.
Live? Okay, so Kira runs the gym. And that is, again, we're deploying the app next week. She's going to inform the staff. Our week after that, we inform the members. We still keep the old booking software to make sure it's both working. The next week, it all goes live.
Yeah.
So by literally, within a month, built it, deployed it to the whole team.
Yeah.
Right? And it's all going live. Community, in person, not-for-profit, CIC, you know all that. We run the best gym one of the best gyms in the UK, best gym in the area, blah, blah, blah. So my staff, I told them, each of them have a thing that they can do that AI can't do. You're the queen of community. So you're going to look after members, send them flowers, send them handwritten cards, jump on a podcast with them. You're in charge of that. You, Mel, you're in charge of the larger thing, the charity, the foundation, going into schools, doing teens classes, blah, blah, blah. Guy, you're in charge of the coaches. So you make sure the coaches feel at home. You make sure the connection. And Harvey, you're the MD, head of growth. You make sure everything works together. We're running the right plays. You're almost running the AIs, which kind of are the staff below him, in a way, the agents in that. But you're also using other agents that we don't need to do as much. And I got a full-time editor who's going to make the content. Each of them create content which feeds to him, which goes back to the MD who then posts. Yep. That's like a full working, scalable system. Kira's there. She's going to make sure the whole thing's working, done. Now, if you come back to me, actually, in terms of that, is that like a whole stack, would you say? In terms of the 5? Yeah.
Yeah. Code?
Yep.
So software?
100%.
Content?
Yep.
Content?
Yep.
Capital? You're investing money into network?
Yep.
All the people they're speaking to, and labor. Them.
Done. There you go. So in terms of what I'm building in future, which is basically, if we go complete segue into like the North Star, which is like momentum, which is stopping men from killing themselves, right? And helping people and helping men and kind of sharing that
momentum.
Connection. That's the whole point. Momentum.
Yeah, momentum.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's the men part. It's men with brackets.
I just got that. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
It looks nice when you see it. And also Mo, because it's Movember.
That's
bro,
beautiful.
I thought about this. My AI was like pattern
so
recognition. Good. I was like, let's go. So in terms of that, I guess content will be the podcast, and that'll be the main thing. Community, I was thinking of running. There's I won't actually say it because it might not actually happen. But in-person events and doing that in person. Capital is just my money going into it, but I have to pay in time rather than money right now. And then the other two, which were community or network. Yep.
Capital.
Yep.
You said labor.
Yep. Oh yeah, labor. What if AI is growing right now and it's doing so much? Who do you need to bring on as a founder?
100% someone that's adopting and knows how to use AI.
Cool. Do you learn it yourself or do you bring someone on?
Well, it's more about, it's not the position, it's about the traits they have.
Right.
For example, someone who has a trait of fast moving,
cool,
executioner.
Cool. Almost like another founder.
Exactly. That's why it depends what kind of person you're looking for. But if you're looking for another high level operational position, they need to be fast moving, executioner, able to get stuff done, competent. Competence a big one. Like there's
How
some
do you
people,
find competency?
You just see it in someone.
Yeah.
Like for example,
your pattern recognition AI is pretty good.
Exactly. Maybe there's a formula. Probably Alex Hormozzi's got a formula.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah.
But you can see if someone's competent. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
If they're just fumbling the bag all the time,
yeah,
then
makes sense.
But But yeah, what was it? What were we saying?
In terms of like what
do
is
we
the
look for?
founder?
Yeah,
Who are you hiring?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing? Like, let's say you're a solo founder. You're using Claude. You're building something right now. Like, what skill gaps, what deficiencies, what things would you take on, or who would you take on? You got good cash flow. You have the margin to bring people on. Who are you bringing on?
It's 100% about the traits they have. So it's exactly what you
Right.
said. Someone who's executing, someone who's leveraging AI, someone who knows how to move with speed,
Cool.
someone who's just going to do stuff.
Cool.
There's so many people, and
I love it.
I've seen so many people who are not successful yet,
Yeah.
but just have that drive to do whatever's necessary to do there. They will see something exactly like yourself.
Yeah.
Exactly. You saw the opportunity with Cursor. You saw the opportunity with Claude. And you just ran with it.
Yep.
You just did it.
Yep.
In less than a day, you've seen the benefits.
Yep.
Right. And there's so many business owners out there
Yep.
which are afraid of ever doing something.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like we were trying to do a cold email campaign. I was messaging someone that I needed them to warm up their campaigns. And it said, oh, it'll take 2 weeks. I went in, it took 2 hours. Like that.
2 weeks, that's a lifetime.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we need to buy everything. We need to verify everything.
Oh my
Like,
God.
Just speed.
Yeah,
And
speed.
like people like that
Yeah.
aren't really going to have jobs in the future.
Yeah.
Because they're not able to.
Sure.
So
This
people
makes sense.
who can just proactively do stuff.
Makes sense. So I think the overarching thing I'm getting from this conversation is it's not actually Claude.
It's the traits
It's
about the person who uses it.
It's the traits, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the mindset. It's the person who uses it. So, okay, I am listening to this and I'm like, fuck, I'm slow. I'm not. I'm stupidly, like, I'm obsessively compulsive, but like, whatever. But like, I'm listening to this and I'm like, I'm slow. I'm maybe my alarm bells are going off a little bit, right? What do I do?
Yeah.
Like, how do I change? How do I get better?
Do you want to change, first of all?
Great question. I think if they're listening to this, they do. I think like if you're here, it's like saying, if you turn up to a sales consultation and saying, oh, this is moving so fast. Like, no, you didn't. Like you filled out you went online, you filled out the form, you booked a consultation, you made time for this, you rocked up. Are you booking consultations for ballet classes? No. Well, we have a problem to solve. It's like when people walk into the gym and they're like, oh, I was just looking around. I was just looking around. I was like, oh, do you look around at gyms all day then? Or have we got a problem to solve?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, if you're on this podcast, you probably have a problem to solve.
Yeah.
Or you just want to learn more, great. But like, if the alarm bells are ringing, okay, so I think a lot of this comes down to the sales framework, making decisions, being okay with failing, being okay to be dumb again. Realizing that things will change, things are changing. But by the way, they've already changed. The ship has left the port. Like,
it's not a ship, it's a rocket.
Yeah, it's left.
You need to hold on for dear life.
It's left.
Yeah.
And like, I think it's learning, it's paying down the ignorance there. God, literally, it's like I'm just quoting Hormozy all day, but it's just teaching yourself all of these things and learning it as fast as possible and just riding the wave as best as you can. But I think if you are a person who makes decisions fast and moves quickly, you should be smiling right now because you're like, and also it's never been easier to win. Like we were talking to a founder the other day at the event, and he was saying about AI and all these different things and how he thinks it doesn't work. And I went up to him afterwards. I was like, winners win. Like, that's it. It's the most harsh sentence in the world, but I think you get exactly what you fucking deserve. And I there was you know Ryan Serhant, he had his series like New York guy. Basically, it was a line of something like, you don't get what you want, you get what you deserve. Right? It's like you who cares what you want? You get what you work for and you get what you do, and that's it.
Yeah.
So in terms of all of this, I just think it's just go type in Claude or ask ChatGPT, how do I learn Claude? Right? Go on there, just start researching it, start understanding it. It's not scary. It's incredible. And then just start paying down your ignorance tax and debt as fast as possible. And if, hey, I paid in time. I could have paid you in money. Let's be real, right? And you could have iterated, and we probably could have done the thing we done in 5 days. It's just I chose to pay in time, right? So if you have money and you have capital, pay it in money. It's the thing is you don't get to choose. You don't. It's not like I don't do it or I do it. It's like, again, I was talking to Kira yesterday about this, and she was saying about our stuff, and the conversation she's going to have with them is very simple. This is not. You don't get to like not decide here. It's like, are you in or are you out? Because if you're out, I'd rather have the conversation now about firing you rather than 3 months. Right? It's like when you raise prices in a business. It's you either have a hard conversation with your members, or you have a hard conversation with your landlord. Choose. Right? It's like when you cheat, right? You have a hard conversation later, or you have a hard conversation now. It's everything. You don't get to fucking you can't not have it. You just have to confront it and decide, what are you going to do? You either get replaced in 5 years, probably a lot sooner, or you confront this now. Choose.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's up to you, but you don't get to sit out of it. You're gonna be on this wave, and that's scary. But it should. And the few people it excites are the ones that will win.
Yeah, but to be honest, the ones that will win know they're gonna win.
Yeah,
that's the thing. And actually, I couldn't have said it better myself. But the thing actually you said is you get what it's not you get what you want, you get what you deserve, you get what you give at the end of the day. And that's the same 100%. Thing what we speak about earlier with books, for example. Yeah. Everything is extrapolated in like a sort of a grander context. If you think about this from a step back, we said about Elon and first principles. What's the first principles for this? Every action has an opposite and equal reaction, if you remember. And whatever you give, you will receive in return, because it's just the laws of the universe. For example, I'm giving you energy, or I'm giving you a conversation, and in return, you're giving energy back in the form of a conversation. Same with this is the same thing with money as well. Like you give value, you give something, and you'll get in return. And monetary could be one of the things, it could be something else, but every action has an opposite and equal reaction. So for example, like here in Bali, same with energy, same with spiritual. If you want to go into a grander context, it's like it's not how do I get this, it's how do I give as much as possible, that getting it will be like a no-brainer.
Yeah, 100%.
For example, people are saying, okay, why is a teacher getting paid only this much and a stockbroker or a hedge fund manager is getting that much? And it's because, okay, a teacher helps the 20 people in her class, and a stockbroker helps millions of people, or their clients make millions and millions and millions, billions in return. And if he takes 1% of that, that makes him a billionaire.
Please read The Go-Giver, the book today, please. Yeah, it's literally this. The amount you make is directly proportional to the width and depth of people you help. Yeah, that's it. So one person deep, if I helped Elon get him to space, how much is he going to pay me? 1% of SpaceX. They're doing an IPO. This is like Stevie B, right? He was doing marketing for smaller companies. He helped marketing people who did IPOs. Went crazy overnight, and now he's Stephen Bartlett, right? So you either go deep or you go wide, right? Which is I don't know, TikTok, right? Or like super wide, or you do both, and you just win at scale. That's it. It's how can you be as useful to the width and depth of people. And another thing that I actually realized was, read this book's incredible, The Go-Giver. In order to give, you also must be able to receive, right? And I realized that quite a lot in my life, I wasn't open to receiving because it almost felt icky. And I realized that actually, no, I feel amazing when I give, when I help people out. I'm not going to steal the opportunity of giving from someone else. So actually, if someone says, I'll buy you a coffee, I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Let's go, amazing. But I'm also the first person who will then get the bill at the dinner table, right? And when I think about becoming rich or becoming wealthy, I mean, you haven't even got to like, you can see November, it's like I'm trying to raise 100 grand for men's mental health. All of the profits from the podcast will go towards November mental health. The gym, it's a CIC not-for-profit. I got rid of my whole wage, everything, and moved to Bali because I was like, fuck it, I'm going to start again. Right? I got rid of no one knows me. I'm very well known in Bath and blah, blah, blah. People know who I am. We just won loads of awards. The best business in Bath. We literally just won it like 2 weeks ago. Best business in the area as a gym. Never been done before, right? And we have the most reviews, blah, blah, blah. In there, I'm great. Nah. And this is Goggins. You have to be willing to go back to scratch. Yeah. And that's this, which is Claude. Okay, what you've done has got you this far. You're going to have to go back to scratch. Yeah. You're going to have to be a student again. And that's okay. You're here. You're an hour and 22 minutes into a podcast about this. It's okay. You have to be an artist. An artist finishes the painting, sells it off, then goes and gets a blank canvas and starts again. Yeah. And that's okay. And that's because that's where the growth happens. That's why Goggins, and we were actually in the area in Vancouver, I had buddies that knew him, which was super cool. When I was climbing Everest in a day, like climb a mountain, gondola down, climb a mountain, there were guys there that ran the fire department, said, yeah, I saw Goggins last week. I was like, what the fuck? He's still digging trenches in the middle of buttfuck nowhere in Canada. Because guess what? When you go back to scratch, that's when you learn. You don't learn about yourself. The podcast is great. You're not learning about yourself. You learn about yourself when you open that Claude terminal, right? You don't win when you plan the running session. You go for the fucking run. Just go for a run. Just go buy the shoes and go out and start running. Start walking. Just start. And that, if there's, again, I genuinely believe this, and I've actually been negatively reinforced by a lot of people in my life for this. This is a big reason why I'm here, because I love this, because this is like one of the first times in my life where someone has said to me, no, that impulse, again, even the word impulsive has a negative connotation to it. Even the word, like all of this stuff, it's just seen as like, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, like he's so jumpy and he's so like all over the place. It's like, no, there's this urgency, this drive, this push. Yeah. And it's just, I would rather spend more time going out, hitting my fucking feet on the pavement than planning my running sessions. Yeah. That's it. And it's so funny how everything links back to starting AI, doing the thing, asking the girl, you know, like going up and talking to her, just do. Yeah. Just commit, decide, cut out, eliminate the alternatives and just fucking go for it. And that's been the biggest thing I think in my life that has helped me. 100%.
Action, 100%. I know so many people that were smarter than me or that had everything. They had everything. And then they decided to, oh, let me plan this for a bit longer. Or I need to save up some money to do this. Or I need to do this. Or I need
they get power to. They blame.
And they're giving their energy to that.
Yep.
And then they're not giving the energy to what they actually want to do. 100%.
And another really nice way of saying this is, have you ever had a council tax bill come into your house? And let's say you were broke, right? And you just had a council tax bill, or like a bill, like a tax bill. Mm-hmm. And you're like, fuck, are you still alive? You still here? Are you still making money? Are you negative? No, you figured it out. And it's the Nike story. You're not going to say Shoe Dog? No. Oh my God, yes. So Shoe Dog, Nike, or Nike, whatever. He was running out of money. No money left. Literally about to close it down. Guess what he does? He goes to the people that makes his fucking shoes and says, I need money to keep paying you. Yeah. He literally said to them, he's like, you're going to fund my next few months because I'm going to be giving you so much business over the next few years. And they literally funded him to pay them back. And that's what's created Nike today. Yeah. And it's resourcefulness, not resources. Especially, this is why I think we live in a world, what's the word, where everything has become equal. Again, Zuck hasn't got a better Facebook than us. Elon hasn't got a better Grok than us. There is no longer this whole idea of like, oh, well, I didn't have enough money when I was growing up. And oh, well, I mean, the funny thing actually is the number one correlator to wealth is your postcode when you're born, which is like a separate fact. But I think nowadays, anyone...
It should probably be what the number one factor to wealth nowadays should be what you're consuming on the internet. It should be your watch history, YouTube watch history. And there should probably be, instead of the postcode, it's like you have the internet postcode. You have
How much do you consume?
On what?
Just general consumption.
Actually, recently I have not been consuming at all.
Because
I've been plugging everything into Claude.
Sure, yeah. True. But did you used to consume a lot more? And before that, were you creating a lot more?
I remember there was a period where I'd be reading a lot of books.
Right.
I was reading a book a week.
When was that start your journey?
Yeah, sort of. Everyone has that.
Yeah,
they read Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Win Friends.
Atomic Habit, all
exactly.
Of it.
And they get that dopamine. Yeah. It's like that mental masturbation.
Yeah.
They're just reading it over and over again. Like, now I know. But then the beauty is you do the stuff and then you maybe read that occasional book and then you're like, I see where this is. And you don't need to read every single book in the world. Mm-hmm. Any book can work. Yeah. You can pick up a book and you can relate it to your real world experiences. And I actually think it is beneficial to read that book or reflect. It's like a form of meditation. Yeah. You're not reading a book on 3 times speed. You're going through it. You're going to have to take time to read every single word.
What are those books for you?
Reality transurfing. That's a big one. You read it?
No.
That's a killer book.
Reality transfer.
Have you ever heard of it?
No, never. First
that
time I
will
heard of it.
change your life.
Okay, sick.
That will
I'll check it
change.
out.
It's about a book this thick. I remember, actually, I haven't read it. I only listened to the audiobook.
Okay.
But it's about like 3 days in solid audio. It's like,
What's it about?
it's about the laws of the universe. It's about everything.
So like cause and effect.
Everything.
Fuck
It'll
yeah.
talk
Oh my
about
God.
lucid dreaming
Oh my
to
God.
your different energy chakras to business success
Okay.
to like the pendulum, everything.
Sick.
It talks
Okay.
about, it's probably one of the best.
Okay.
It's sort of like the sort of the key to the universe. That book.
Nice.
It's got everything.
Holy. Okay.
It's a, but
pick
then
that
also I remember the first time I listened to it, I was like, oh, this is cool, but it's quite very intense. It's like big concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And then you listen to it. I remember actually, because I'd always listen to about 15 minutes before bed, and I'd put something on, and then you'd think about, oh, okay, that I see exactly where that relates. I can see exactly where that relates. And now listening back to it a second time, I'm listening to things and hearing things which I never would have imagined before. It's like,
yeah, it's like you can't step into the same river twice because you change and the river changes.
exactly.
in the books.
Reality transferring will change, make
Okay.
a big change.
Nice.
But
That's a good one.
it's a commitment.
Yeah, because the thread I was going down was I found, so we can talk about this. I got rid of my phone for 4 years.
Mhm.
I just got a Nokia brick.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I know myself. I haven't drank in since first year of uni, so
Mhm.
that's 9 years. I never done drugs, so I never even touched weed, not even nos, nothing. Like because I know you wouldn't be talking to me right now. I'd probably be dead in a ditch. Because I know what my brain's like. I know my brain is pure power. I don't say that to be like a dick. It's just it can be used for good or bad. I could be an absolute asshole, right? I could be the worst human in the world, or I can really do good things. And that's why I design my environment in as best way as possible to make the likelihood of me being as good as possible as high as possible. That's it. That's the only thing that matters, right? Because you can have good intentions, or you can say, I'm getting a fucking Nokia brick. That's commitment, elimination of alternatives. So what I was kind of going down was, I noticed when I was making more YouTube content and posting more stuff, which again, I am level 1 of this. This is a skill gap that I need to learn. I need to pay down the ignorance tax. Like it's a whole other thing that I need to get into. But I even realized just starting to make a few of this, I just stopped consuming stuff. I stopped consuming Hormozy. Like I'm a fucking Hormozy encyclopedia of quotes. Like Chris Williams, right? He could just quote him like a fucking Twitter, right? And like my algorithm for that is, I guess, really good. But I just stopped consuming. And what I realized was everything that I need is in my scars, in my failures, in my doubts, in the suffering. This is Goggins, right? And it's like I had enough. I realized I have enough to start. And it's literally just, guess what? Doing, right? You learn when you're out there, just getting after it. When Goggins says it's like when you're drowning in the pool, you're gonna learn more about fucking swimming than reading the book on swimming. You can't fucking increase your squat reading a squat book. You got to squat. Right? So it's the same thing in all this. And I love this because people are probably rocked up to this thinking they're going to learn about AI, which you have. I learned loads from you today, Alex, about this. But like the funny thing is it really always comes back to, and you said this is the theme of all of your podcasts you've had on, which I guess are coming out, which is going to be amazing. It's the mindset behind it. And I think that's the only thing that matters. And it's the person that's wielding the tool. Well, right now, we've been given a sword. And you can use a sword for good, and you can use a sword for bad. Money. People see money as the root of all evil. I bet AI will be seen as the root of all evil. It's not, right? It's a tool, and it's what's wielded, and it's the person that wields it. So I guess like more long term, where do you see like the world going in a few years? Like genuinely. Why not? Let's go there.
Let's go there.
In terms of like, do you see AGI? Do you see humans being useless? Do you see us just living at the beach doing nothing all day? What do you see in terms of that?
There'll definitely be a few people, and there already is in the society, who do not amount to much, really. Like that, there's that bottom, and I think the divide will be the bottom will stay towards the bottom and the top will gravitate towards the top.
Yeah.
The divide is definitely coming, and we're already seeing that divide in society.
Yeah.
And we see there's going to be a big shift in the changing of the world order.
Yeah.
And like you can talk about the changing of the world order, but like, is it really going to affect us? How do we position ourselves? You can say to everyone else, you can shout from the mountains, but like no one's, unless someone really decides to change, you can't tell them to change. So we're going to see a big shift towards people who are entrepreneurs, a big shift to people who are doing their own thing, who are leveraging what is unique about humans. So those are the people that, as we mentioned earlier, have those traits: executioner, fast mover, proactive, competent, all of those traits. And those are going to be the people who are pushing the frontier of what's possible. So they're the people that are going to be building cool things. We're going to be building the cooler things, or we're going to be building cooler things than ever before. We're going to the amount of stuff which has been discovered in the last 6 months is going to be tenfold in the next 2 weeks. Like that kind of stuff is just going to happen so fast.
Yeah. Epic.
So that's where I see. And then there's going to be the people who have their universal basic income, who are living off checks from the government, letting the government control whatever. And then maybe they're happy because they've tricked their mind into scrolling social media and having that as their reality. It's basically like the Matrix. They'll be plugged in, and then there'll be the Neos who come out.
Well, Priestley said a really good analogy I liked on CVB the other day. He said it's analogous to TikTok and YouTube. 10 years ago, you'd have to have a whole video production team. No, maybe 50 years ago, a whole video production team to make a good video, right? You'd have to pay a lot of money and only the top could access it. Nowadays, right? But even then, this is a nice setup. You could just go on your iPhone and start filming, and that motherfucker can blow up, and in 2 weeks, you're making good money, right? But what's happened is because technology fundamentally, is it ubiquitous? What's the word? It makes it equal access for everyone. What it means is, imagine you're in an airport and there's a plane, there's a fog rolling over the airport. Getting off the ground above the fog is fucking horrendous, right? So right now, I haven't got much of an audience. In my city, I do. But getting off the ground online sucks. Because I can't compete with the volume of AI and all these different things that go on, because I'm competing for the same attention as everyone else. And I think that will exist with software. I think it would exist with all of the different things. And again, I think it will exist overall, as it will be so much harder to get into the point of being the Neo who can look back on the Matrix. It'll just get harder and harder every single day. Yeah. So I think, again, it's like every day it gets harder. Every day it gets harder to start. And I think the best time to start is now. And again, it's a journey of 1,000 miles, starts with a single step. The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now, right? So literally, I just think it's maybe this is your sign to just start and just do stuff, which 100%, is amazing.
Yeah. And the future's good. There's two ways you said earlier. You can either be we're all dead or we're living in abundance. Yeah. And which way would you rather think at? Personally, I'd rather think in the abundance. Looking up to seeing what's possible, seeing the technologies which are available now. Yeah. Starship is just about...
It's just so cool.
All of this stuff.
Like back in the 60s when we were launching, landing on the moon. Like Artemis just launched. Are you kidding? It's so cool. It's just amazing to be alive.
All of these...
Actually, here you are. Look around the room and find things that are blue.
Yeah, you'll start seeing stuff. Exactly.
So if you look around the world and you find bad things, we'll find bad things. Mm-hmm. That's fine. More for us.
But it's a cool world. Just everything's happening. It seems like we're in the center of everything, and my business partner, he was saying, does it not feel like we're just blissful? It's a feeling of bliss.
No, it's so true.
And I'm like, maybe. Personally, I don't
bliss
think
with urgency.
Everyone, of course, bliss, like, you know exactly what you need to do.
100%.
He knows we know exactly what we need to do. We know the next steps. We know exactly if we do this is the outcome. Yeah. We know that. And he's like, oh, it feels like the world is going like that. It's like, no, the world's not going like that. It's because we are locked in on this path.
Yeah.
But for everyone else, they have no idea what's going on. They're still scrolling TikTok
it's like I genuinely feel bad of the Balinese guy who's serving me coffee. And being like, not you're fucked, but maybe you're happy.
At the end,
maybe you are more happy than I am, and that's amazing. But like, again, it's like when I left my staff, when I realized that like I'm gonna go travel the world and I'm gonna go have this life of abundance, why can't they come with me? My family, when I go back to the UK, and they still have the same fucking family problems. I come back every time, and it's this person's fault. This person's fault. This is a big reason why I love my family, but like, it's the same shit. People are just focusing on the wrong things. So yeah, it's like I something in me, maybe it's the empath in me, and people always call me a psychopath, and like I'm very much just like I do the thing, but I think there's genuinely something in me that kind of feels bad for people. And one of the biggest traits that has it actually led me to burning out many times in sales, actually, was I believe in people more than they believe in themselves. It's a really good trait and a really bad trait at the same time. I'm like, do you even know how good you could be? How epic you could be if you could just pull your finger out your fucking ass, right? And just confront this. But again, as you said, you can't give it to people. You can't. You it has to. Goggins always says it's like, imagine there's some kindling, right? And then that kindling goes into a fire. Then that fire starts a 10,000 hour log, like a massive log. Then the whole forest burns down. You can't give someone the kindling though. You can give them the log, I think. You can show them, you can get them in the environment. But if the best way to the best way to learn French is to move to France, you can't buy them the ticket, right? You can do some things like Kira. Basically, what you need to know about me is if you're in my circle and you tell me to do something, I'll fucking do it with you. So like Kira was like, I want to do an Ironman. The next morning I booked her an Ironman and I was like, I'll do the whole thing with you.
Yeah.
Right. So like that's just who I am. I want to see people win, and I've got to the point where I don't want to invest my time in people who aren't willing to invest in themselves. That sounds selfish. Can I say a story about this? This story helped me so much in this, because I always felt quite like selfish, and like I was, why do I get Claude? Why do I have access to this? Like I always felt these things. There was a study, I think it was like a Harvard classic, these studies on the psychology of people, and they were basically testing, looking at conscientiousness, empaths, and all these different things of humans. And what they did is they said to people, hey, come meet us at 11 o'clock at this place, and we'll go and run a study and look into it. But that was actually a dress up, whatever it's called, like a decoy. On the way there, someone, a trained actor or whatever, fell over and dropped all their stuff. And what the researchers did is they measured how many people helped the person with their stuff. Now, what would you think? The people that were conscientious, the people that were empaths, the people that believed in a better world, all these things, that they helped the person. There was zero correlation between those people, their traits, and helping the person. But for one group, they said it was going to be at 11 o'clock, and the other group, they said it was going to be at 11:30. So one group were told they were running on time and they had loads of time in the world, and one group had no time and they were rushing. Guess what? All of the people who were rushing just went past the person, didn't help them at all, like 90%. The people who had loads of time, even if on paper they were bad people, they still helped. They helped the person. What that shows is in life, sometimes the best thing you can do is help yourself first and fill your own cup, make sure it's overflowing, then help other people. Because you can't help anyone else when you're depressed, when you're broke, when you're suffering, because you're selfish, right? And what you have to do, just like my story at the start as a PT, at first I was like, I want to be PT, I want to do this. As soon as I helped myself and I got through my journey and people helped me, I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. People help me, you help me, you built this. Then you turn your attention outwards and say, how can I be useful? But you have to go through step one first. You have to go through, it's okay to take. It's okay to, I owe you so much in terms of how much knowledge. You've saved me $250,000, right? And it's true. It's true. And this podcast is free and all this stuff is free. But eventually you then, once you're helped and once you understand that and you open yourself up to being helped, then you can truly be able to give back and be useful. Now you could be useful at first, but it's like saying, back in when I was 16, I could fly to Africa and help build a school. Or in 5 years' time, I can make 1,000 schools. It's like, just choose. It's okay. Neither's right or wrong. It's just, what scale of impact do you kind of want, and what you want to be? I think that's the really important question. This is what I always come back to. And you said at the start, who do I need to know? I think my main thing is, what do I want? Who do I need to become in order to get those things? And then how can I design my environment in such a way that the likelihood of me being that person is as high as possible? And it's the behavioral lens of seeing the world. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, is like, again, my North Star when it comes to this as well.
It's beautiful. That is poetic. Well, that's been an amazing chat. Amazing conversation.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, Ollie.
I appreciate it.